Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs, welcome to Hollywood. In this video, I'm going to show you how I find my compositions in Hollywood. Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs, my name is Serge Ramelli. I'm a French photographer from the amazing city of Paris, France. Right now, I'm on the Griffith Park in Hollywood, and I'm going to show you with a bunch of students how I frame my photos and how I try to find good compositions. I think composition really is an art, how you arrange the elements, and I want to show you the behind the scenes of how I shot this day one of my workshop, so you can be with me and live it and see the different ideas that I have, and maybe it inspires you, maybe it does not. You can download the source files and other presets that I use. The link is below the video. So follow me here in Griffith Park and let's have some fun and let's find some good photos. Alright guys, so I'm back from Griffith Park and I'm going to show you the good and the bad and the ugly photos that I got and how I'm going to retouch them. Now, for this retouching, I'm going to be using my signature preset, and they're really amazing. My signature presets is a big bundle. You can find a link below the video. It's basically different preset for different times of the day. But I'm giving you all the presets I'm going to be using for free. You're going to get this pack, which is the natural everyday preset light version. All you have to do to get them is to do this. Click the link that's just below the video, and then you put in your email address. Then you put in first name, last name, and create a password. And boom, you are in. You have the preset of the brushes. You just can click on view, and then you can download the source files. Now, if you're already a member, you click on the same link, you put your email address and click sign up for free, and it's going to take you and just add it to your library. That's all you have to do. All right, so once you have downloaded the preset, here is how you install them. So you have to understand there's two types of files of preset that exist. You have LR template files, which are compatible with any version of Lightroom, or you have the new XMP files, which is only for Creator Club member. Now, because I wanted this to be available for any users, new Lightroom users and old Lightroom users, I'm giving you the LR template files. That's what you're going to download once you undid the file. This is what it's going to look like. Now, how to install them? Well, it's actually really easy. It's just that when you install old LR templates file, there's a little workaround if you want it to be neat and to be into like a very specific file. So right now you can see here I have different groups like Photo Search, Natural Everyday, Special Effect, Film Look, Essential Preset. That's already installed. I want to create a group that's going to call the Photo Search Light presets. But there is no option to create a group, or at least I have not figured it out. If you know a better way, just let me know. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do a change on this photo, whatever it is. I'm gonna go here and click create presets. So it's gonna create, I'm gonna call this preset test, and I'm gonna create a new group called the Photo Serge Natural Light version. Okay. So now click on create. So now I have a group here called Photo Serge Natural Light version. I'm gonna right click, import, and I'm gonna select all the presets you just downloaded from my website, click import, and you're done. It's kind of a workaround, but I like to keep it neat, and so I have a folder called Photo Serge Natural Light preset, and that's what we're gonna be using. Now, if this were XMP files, then I would not need to do that. I could just take the zip file, and the zip file would create the folder, but that does not work with LR templates file. It's just a workaround, so you have to go through creating that folder first, but it takes really 5 seconds. Okay, so now we have the preset installed. How do we do this? So, well, let me show you what I got. We were in luck that day. That was the first day of my workshop. So I started with this pano, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the raw files on retouch. And I made a pano out of it. So this one I'm definitely selecting. So when there's something I really liked and I think has a potential, I'm going to right click and I'm going to give it a 1 star. So that's a 1 star to me. Then, you know, this one I did using landscape mode. So it took me only 4 shots to get it because I really wanted to go from like, and this is the pano, and I'll show you how to do the pano. I really wanted to go from the sun all the way to the Hollywood sign. So then I'm like, okay, in case I need more space, I did it again a bit later when it got a little warmer. And so I did a whole bunch. This time is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 photos. A total of 8 photos because I really wanted to go, and this is how it looks once it's stitched. I kind of moved going up toward the Hollywood sign, but that's going to be completely fine. So that's another one. This one I'm definitely keeping, so I'm going to give it a 1. So basically, when I give a rating of 1 to a photo or a pano, it means that it has potential for me. It doesn't mean it's going to end up being published. It has potential. And the sun just keep on being more crazy, so I did another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, I think it's one of the best sky I ever had being up there, and that's how the pano looked. So I'm going to select all of this, and I'm going to give it a 1. And that's what I do. I always go through my photos. I look what I did, you know, what I like. I look what I didn't like. So the sun was so amazing that I started just shooting the sun for my collection of sky. I mean, look at that sunset. Look at that sunset. So that's the sunset just by itself. That's the raw file on retouch. I mean, it's unbelievable. It was so saturated. You wouldn't believe it. Anyway, so that I'm not going to retouch because these were just for my collection of sky. That's a whole different story. So then I took this photo. This one, I'm going to give it a 1, but I'm pretty sure. So I got 2 photos. That's a photo of downtown, but the colors were completely on the other side. That is looking toward the east, and the east had almost no color. So that's one, I'm a little closer to downtown, and this one, I'm even closer. So you know what? I'm going to take this one because I think it has potential, but at the end of the day, I don't think I'll use this one. Next one is, that's not downtown. It's another part of Los Angeles that kind of looks like downtown. And this time I had a great sunset. So that's a little tight shot. That's a bit of a wider shot. I think I'm going to get the tight shot. But again, you know, the problem with this photo, it has a great sky, don't get me wrong, but it's not really communicating something because downtown is so small that you don't exactly know what you're looking at. Anyways, later on, we went and shot what I call the Terminator view, which is this photo. I tried different things. I think at first, look at this, I was completely blurry because my tripod was moving. I had an issue with my tripod. It was blurry. And finally, I figured out what was wrong with my tripod. And I think I have this one where the observatory is on the left side, and I like this photo. So this one, I'm going to give it a 1. That's the overexposed photo. And you know what? Actually, in a different video, I'll show you how to do different HDR. But for now, I'm only going to take the overexposed photo. So that's one, and that's another one where I had done some tests. That's why it had a different color, where the observatory is on the right side. So I'm going to give this one a 1. So now I've gone through all my photos, and I didn't select all of them because, like, for example, this one, oh, that's another pano that I didn't do. Actually, that's really cool. I'm going to select all that and go into set ratings to 1, which is a crazy sunset. We'll see which one comes out the best. Okay, so now I'm going to filter all by 1, and by 1 it's going to give me the best photo that I want. Okay, most of them are panoramas, so you know it gotten so easy to do panoramas. All you have to do is you select all 4 photos, you right click, you go to photo merge panorama, and Lightroom is going to create a super raw file for you that's just going to do the panorama. I am so blown away. Look at this. You know, so spherical, cylindrical, and perspective is different way to stitch the photo. We call this projections. Let's make it simple. Most of the time I use cylindrical. When I do buildings and I want everything to be straight, I use perspective. But in this case, I use that. So I don't need to click merge because it's going to take forever. I've already prepared this for you. And that's how it looks once it's merged. So now I'm going to retouch the photo. And the way I actually usually work is I just go through my presets. So I've got my natural everyday preset. And especially now that they added this option where you can just over your mouse, so you can see, look at this, look at the result just with, you know, the preset. If I go to some preset is not going to work, like the snow preset is not going to work on the sunset, for example. You know, the idea of this preset is that they find the right colors for the right time of the day. So I'm not even going to use a professional pack, which you can find below this video. I'm using the free pack, right? The one I'm giving you for free. And I'm going to go with this golden arrow linear circle. Okay, it says 2 because I already installed in my pro version, but that's the golden arrow linear circle preset. And that's usually how I work, and most of the job is done. All I have to do is basically find my circle, which is here where the sun is supposed to be, and all I do then is I check my, you know, black point, make sure it's only about 1-2%. I'm holding the option key to see that, and the white point, make sure I don't have something too much burn. Maybe add a bit of contrast, and I'm finished. You know, the photo is retouched. Now, these presets are amazing. They have at least 27 different sliders, you know, that takes into account, you know, that deals with the photo. Now, for people who hate preset, I'm going to retouch it from the start. So it's very easy. I'm going to reset it. All I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the shadows. I'm going to do my white. I'm going to do my black point like I just did. I'm going to bring down the highlights. Okay, on the golden arrow preset, I use daylight, plus I add a bit of magenta. Okay, maybe add a bit of contrast, a bit of vibrance, just a little tad, not too much because it was so saturated already. On this one, I think I'm going to make it overall a little brighter. And then I'm going to do a gradient. Do the gradient, lower the exposure just for the top, maybe add a bit of blue for the top. Okay, you know, I'm going to turn it around because I want the blue to be here on this side. Make this a bit higher. I'm going to do another gradient here because I want to close the photo. All that I'm doing right now, you don't need to do if you use a preset because it's all included in a preset. Okay, I think I added too much blue, so I'm just going to back that away. Not too much blue. Okay, I want to do a circle where the light is. So circle where the sun is, I'm going to invert it. And I'm going to go to temperature and just add a bit of yellow and a bit of exposure just where the sun is. Voila. Then I'm going to go into my hue, and I always play around with the hue. I take this and I click where the sun is. If I go up, you see it goes very green. If I go down, it gets a little warmer. I want it a little warmer. I'm changing the hue a little bit. Saturation, I'm going to boost the saturation to red, yellow, orange. Now imagine you had to do this on every single photo. Okay, all that is included in my preset. Okay, then I go to the details, and then I do I always shoot at 100 ISO. So when I shoot at 100 ISO, I have this formula where I do 10 of noise reduction. I do about 90 of sharpening and about 50 of masking. And then I do the lens the chromatic aberration and the profile correction. That is, and I think there's a few more settings that I do in my presets. So that's how I create my preset. So now you just do one click and you have all that. So that's one photo that I really like. And I'm actually going to give you some of these photos on top of giving you the presets so you can see for yourself. The next one is going to be this one. So this one, I'm going to crop it. Let's make it less pano. I'm going to crop it here. I'm going to crop it there. I'm going to crop it here. Hollywood sign, make it, I want to make sure Hollywood is kind of straight. That's good. And let's use again, maybe let's use a sunset preset on this one, just to see. So all you do is you put your mouse over it. Oh, this one is really crooked. I'm sorry, I did a bad job. I need to make it more straight. Something, yeah, because it was so. Is that better? Yeah. Still, no, Hollywood is actually more crooked than that. It's probably, I need to find a, yeah, let's see here. Yeah, I think that's more like it. Yeah, I like the idea of having 1/3 of land, 2/3 of sky. It's still a super high, yeah, that's good, that's good, that's good. Okay, now let's see, if I go golden hour preset, it's gonna look very similar to the other one. Oh my God, it's so nice. And I can go even more crazy with the sunset preset. It's gonna be even more red. So in this one, I'm gonna use the golden hour circle preset. And boom, it's finished. All I have to do is, I don't have to do all these 20 sliders. I can just take this and put it over here. I mean, you gotta try my preset. Give it a chance. Give my preset a chance. I've had people saying they were so they like, I don't believe in preset. I don't believe in tips. I believe in nothing. They give it a shot. They were like, oh my gosh, best thing under the earth. I have some people which are like completely addicted. I use my preset in every shoot that I do. Okay, the next one, it was even more crazy. So same thing, I love all these photos. They're really cool. I mean, what a sunset. I got so lucky. I mean, I think it's my 3rd workshop I do in LA, and I never had a sky like this. That's the raw file on retouch. Now wait until I give it like a little golden hour look, and check this out. That's really how it felt to us. Okay, that might be a little too much. So what you can do is, I don't need so much sun in the photo. It's getting so strong that I can just crop this photo like this and just go on Hollywood. Wow, I love this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to give it a 2. This one, I'm going to give it a 2. When I have a photo that I retouch that I like, I give it a 2. And all these ones that I've done so far, I give them a 2. All right, so the last panorama I want to do is this crazy sunset. So I love taking photos when the sun is peaking. Now, what happened on this one is I made a mistake. You see, this one I'm at 62 millimeter, and this one I'm at 61 millimeter. This one I'm at 61 millimeter. This one I'm at 62 millimeter. And this one I'm at 62 millimeter. And if you try setting all that and go to photo merge and do panorama, what's going to happen? It's going to say unable to merge, because for Lightroom to work, it has to be the exact focal length for all your photos. And my finger must have slipped on the camera, and for 2 photos. But luckily, I overlap so much the photo that I can still take these 3, which are at 62 millimeter, right click, photo merge, and I checked just before and it worked. So that's something you need to be careful if you want to do panoramas in Lightroom. There is a way around it with Photoshop, but I'm not going to go into that now. Is make sure you have the same focal distance on all photos and you don't change your, even for a millimeter, which I did. Okay, so I'm going to click on merge. Okay, so let's crop the photo first. Yeah, that's fine. I lost the sun that was speaking, but that's okay. Lightroom did its best, but you'll see it's going to come out still very nice. And on this one, you see if I use the blue hour, it doesn't match. If I use the daylight, it's kind of boring. If I use golden hour, it's amazing. Night, it's not going to match at all. And sunset, look at sunset. This is how it was. It was crazy. The sun was red. Everybody was taking out the camera. It just got crazy. So again, I'm just going to make sure that my black point is good. About 2-3%. My white is good. And yes, I just don't want anything to be overblown. I just go to the threshold. So I'm holding the option key and I'm good. I'm going to give it a 2-star. Okay, let's carry on. So far we've had 2-star. We basically had different panels. So we had this one. We had this one. We had this one, which was like different stages of the sunset, basically. And they're all amazing. I'm so happy. I'm going to do a lot of things with this photo, believe me. All right, I'm working with the state of California on the different books for California. I'm going to use these photos. Next is this photo of day one downtown. This one I'm going to go, we can use like a daylight preset. And you know what? If it was just, okay, I'm going to do my black point, make sure I'm holding the option key, just 1 or 2%. You don't want to have too much black. And when it comes to city light, you can have a bit of white point, but not too much. And I know I got a gradient here somewhere. I can use the gradient, and the colors don't match because I use daylight. I probably should have used golden hour at this point. Yeah, golden hour kind of works better. Okay, again, black point, white point, and voila. Not so bad, not so bad. It's just that all of the colors is really being added by the preset, and I don't like that. I'm going to go 16:9 on this one, just so that, let me think here. I like to have 2/3 of land and 1/3 of sky. I think it's kind of cool. But, you know, I'm not even going to give it a 2 because I don't really like it 100%. Same thing for this one. This one I'm going to use the sunset preset on. Don't get me wrong, the sunset was amazing. But a good sky is not enough to make a photo. This one, okay, you know, it's like, I don't know what I'm looking at. There's no real subject. I mean, in this one, there is a subject. You know, we have Hollywood. You know, everything leads to this Hollywood sign. We've got a great light. This one is like, you know, what am I looking at? Just some building from the far. So no, sir, I'm not using this one. Okay, last but not least, I've got these 2 photos for the this favorite spot. If you go to Los Angeles, you got to go and find this spot, which you have to hike behind the observatory. And you hike very high, and you will see you get the observatory as a foreground element and downtown as a background. It's amazing. So on this one, I'm going to use my night preset. I'm definitely going to use my night preset. So I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to do the black point, do the white. So when it comes to city light, I don't care to, you know, blow away certain lights. Now all my presets come with circle. You can see like the sort of UFO thing happening here. That's a circle, and you just put it over something you really like. So I'm going to put this over this part of downtown. I'm going to add clarity, and I'm going to add maybe a bit of saturation. And voila, I think the overall photo is way too bright. I'm going to make it darker. And you know, it's a starting point, but there's 27 sliders that has been done. And my students really love the preset because they were like, didn't see what was a big deal about the preset. Believe me, it's a huge deal. And there's only one way to find out, is to really try them. You know, I've had people saying, I hate you, I will never use preset ever. You know, and then they used it and they were like, I'm going to use them every day now. Okay, I'm going to clean up the image because it's got a lot of center dust. And I'm pretty much done with it. I'm actually, oh yeah, there's one more circle up here. This thing which is weird here is a circle. So I'm going to put this maybe here, you know, just to make the city shine a little bit. And I think I want to go 16:9 on this one also. 16:9 is what I do with most of the galleries I work with. I love the panel look, so I usually give them like 16:9. I think I'm going to crop it this way. And there's a lot of helicopter in Los Angeles, and it gives this sort of light trail because this was a long exposure. I don't like this on photos. It looks like dust. And sometimes Lightroom managed to get them out. Sometimes you have to use Photoshop. Okay, I'm pretty happy with the result. And now I'm going to select both photos. I'm going to click on synchronize, and I'm going to synchronize everything. And we'll see. So I've got this one, and now I've got this one. You see, so I start off with a preset, and then I just synchronize it and I adapt it to the photo. So on this one, yeah, I should not have, I did a mistake. Okay, let me actually reset this. You should not synchronize, because especially when there's choppers, the spot heating brush tool. So I'm going to click on synchronize, and I'm not going to do the spot removal. I'm going to use the crop because I like it 16:9. Okay, and so this way I still have to, clean up the photo, but I like both. I think both are awesome photos, and I think both I'm going to give it a 2. So I'm giving a 2 on this one, and I'm giving a 2 on this one. And voila, so now I'm going to do my selection with 2s, and I'm going to show you the photos that I got that day in full screen mode. So that's photo number 1. You know, I still have a couple of sensor dust to clean up, but that's a general idea. I love this photo. Imagine this on a big wall. I mean, this is like a lot of pixel. This is the second one. I love it. The sun started coming behind the clouds. I also have some cleanup to do on it, but I love it. Yeah, this one is more like zoomed into the Hollywood sign, but again, great light. And the last one where the sunset just got completely red. Love it too. The view of the observatory, with the observatory on the left side and then on the right side. I love it. I love it. All right, so check out my preset. Download them, install them, give it a shot on your photos. I'm giving you some of the photos so you can see what it does to Sony a7R III 42 million pixel files. And guys, can I ask you something? If you like this video, please like it. It really helps me produce free stuff for you guys. And I will see you next Friday on the next episode. Remember, I do 2 episodes per week, Tuesday and Friday. Subscribe so you don't miss one, and have a great week, guys.